Thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. In the headlines, infrastructural developments for the Mahaut constituency well underway, and housing development in Bellevue Chopin said to be model community for Dominica. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
When you think about it, food is life. That's why people come to Dominica. They don't only come for the waterfall or the scenery or the views, but it's the flavor. Sometimes it is just what they can taste. The flavors that we have here, you can't find anywhere in the world. They are truly unique. I've been in business 17 years, and I see so many guests come and go. My business is to put a smile on their face and something good in their belly. Everything we serve here is local. It comes from all over Dominica. So we get fresh lettuce, or vegetable, or fish from Saint-Sauveur, all our product from the farm. Sometimes go on the farm and have them pick. The uniqueness of the experience is in how authentic it is. I heard the taxi driver promoting my plantain chips. I said, that's the best plantain chips I ever have. I don't have to go and put it on TV. Money is not everything, but leaving customer with a smile, friendly service, and they will come back. This is the real Dominica. I'm just proud to be a part of it. My name is Maurice Smith. They call me Rudy. Tourism is my business.
Welcome back. On Friday, a few members of cabinet and the Chinese ambassador to Dominica visited the site of the new housing development in Bellevue Chopin. The development is said to be a model community for the rest of Dominica, with the structures built using top quality labor and materials. Kimani Seja was on that visit and brings this report.
A commitment to build back better and stronger is the driving force behind the top-quality housing that is emerging in the southern community of Bellevue Chopin, where 340 units are being constructed to house the Petite Savane community, which was ravaged by Tropical Storm Erica 2 years ago. Work to ensure that these families can receive their brand new homes in the quickest possible time is progressing steadily, and the Honorable Minister for Housing, Reginald Ostry, is pleased that come January 1, 2018, developer of the project, Montreal Management Consultants EST, will deliver to government 201 houses fully ready to be occupied. On Friday, Honorable Ostry, accompanied by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Petite Savane, Dr. Kenneth Daru, the Honorable Minister for Planning and Economic Development, Dr. John Colin McIntyre, Ambassador of China to Dominica, His Excellency Liu Kun, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Lucien Blackmore, visited the site of the new development. For the Housing Minister, the housing development epitomizes the Build Back Better concept pronounced by the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, after Tropical Storm Erica. The Honorable Minister is pleased that the vision for the development is materializing.
Today we're just undergoing an official visit to the site to give you an indication as to exactly what is happening and where we're at. I can recall that many people didn't believe that was going to happen.
For the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Petite Savane constituency, Dr. Kenneth Daru, getting closer to delivering these brand new homes to the people of his constituency is a major accomplishment. The Honourable MP reiterated that he is in a much better place now than he was 2 years ago. He looks forward to handing over the keys to the first 201 units to his constituents.
So I'm really happy, as I said, I'm really in a much better place now as a Member of Parliament than I was here a year ago when there was a lot of uncertainty. Yes, the project had been promised and committed, but I think that the actual work has begun and is in really, not just begun, I mean we're really in a, as you can see, we're going in a rapid rapid progress, and the fact that the project manager would have assured us that come the beginning of 2018 that we would have 200 and somebody units available. I think this is good news and augurs well for the Petite Savane people. I look forward to handing the keys over to the first set of residents, and as I said, I must say that I am, as a Member of Parliament, I'm very pleased and very with government's response and commitment to the Petite Savane people.
The Honourable Minister for Planning, Dr. John Colin McIntyre, is also thrilled about the project. A project, he says, which could only be made possible through the Citizenship by Investment program.
Had it not been for the government CBI program and of course Dr. Hayden from MMC coming together and really putting this thought together, we'll be stuck not knowing how we'll be able to deliver to our people on time. And come January, first I'm understanding, somewhere around that time, the first set of apartments will be handed over turnkey to the government Dominica with modern roads, everything is going to be buried underneath. It's the first time we're going to see some of that in Dominica. So we're happy in terms of the MMC and the team here, and of course our Chinese friends, keeping to that date of delivery. And of course looking to complete the rest of it so we can have a lovely project here. But all in all, I'm very happy and I'm very satisfied with the way we handle this project under our CBI program in a joint partnership with Dr. Hayden of MMC.
340 units are being constructed in 2- and 3-bedroom linear houses and 3- and 4-bedroom detached and semi-detached townhouse-styled units. The new community will also include several features including sporting facilities and commercial spaces. The rest of the community is set to be handed over to government by June 30, 2018. Project manager Christopher Timmins is not daunted by the challenges of rainfall and lack of materials, which poses a challenge to the project. He stresses that his team is committed to staying on schedule and delivering on time.
We are presently holding the schedule. The weather hasn't been kind to us. We perhaps could have been a month further along, but we had a particularly wet, dry season. In actual fact, since the 1st of January, we've only had 10 dry days in the whole year so far. But, it's construction. We know where we are. We're in Bellevue. It rains. We just have to get on with it.
Meantime, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Lucien Blackmore, says in keeping with government's Build Back Better concept, the new housing development in Bellevue Chopin has been designed and is being constructed to withstand natural disasters.
The building type that we have shown here today is what we refer to as complete reinforced concrete cladding. It means that all the walls and all the foundation and everything in the buildings are all of reinforced concrete element. Of course, you will realize not only that have the structural capacity for ensuring that all the various forms of loading that the building could be exerted to, whether it's talking about the seismic load coming from earthquakes, whether you're looking at wind, or whether you're looking at the situation of possibly flooding, that the building in itself is designed and constructed in such a way that it can withstand very safely all these conditions.
Blackmore says comprehensive studies of at least 10 sites were conducted, following which Bellevue Chopin was selected as the most suitable site for the resettlement. A team from the University of the West Indies conducted comprehensive studies to advise government of the best environmental solutions for the development.
We had coming up from America 10 potential sites over the country, from which the Bellevue Chopin site was one. And so we had to get the UE team up here to undertake the necessary seismic surveys in terms of the geological condition of the ground, the geotechnical aspect of the ground to ensure that the ground had the bearing capacity and we could design the foundation and the roadworks and the other infrastructure work to comply to best practice and ensuring that what we do would be done very safely. We had to do very stringent hydrology analysis from the same UE team as well to ensure at the end of the day that we had effective drainage on the site. And of course, that will also have to ensure that there's a sewage treatment that we have to do, well, also the environmental consideration. But we had to ensure that from the drainage point of view, that it was adequately and properly done to ensure that even improvement in the whole slope stability of the area.
A special resettlement committee comprising P.S. Blackmore as chairperson, the chief physical planner, chief development officer, the housing manager, an engineer and a social planner ensured that the standards adopted for the new development were in conformity with best practices.
All the buildings that you've seen here today had to be subjected to physical planning requirement and more so local building codes and construction practices. And I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that the contractor himself or the developer, and more so Mr. Chris Timmins, can attest to the sometime hard time or difference of opinion we'll have. I recall very distinctively on a Saturday that Mr. Anthony and myself and Chris had a very heated debate And I told him at the end of the day, that is absolutely necessary. We will do it on points of objectivity, on terms of constructiveness, and at the end of the day, it's all with the betterment for what we're about to do. At the end of the day, we want to ensure from government that we keep the promise to the people, and for he as a developer, that he will feel proud even 10 years or 20 years later on, that the product he developed to Dominica was of best practice.
China's ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Liu Kun, also added his voice to assure the integrity of the work undertaken by Chinese firm China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation on the project. The firm is responsible for constructing all the residential units. The Chinese ambassador expressed his confidence that the firm will provide top quality work and deliver the project on time.
The weather in Dominica is rainy season now. A lot of rain is difficult for the workers to doing the jobs now. Anyway, although we have some difficulties, the project manager of China project manager promised me that they will try their best to finish this project as the schedule, and also with the best quality. Okay, and I'm confident as the Chinese ambassador that they will finish this project at the first class quality and also just within the schedule of the project.
GIS will continue to update you on the progress of works at this major development in subsequent newscasts. Kimani Seja for GIS News.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I believe in the natural order of things. I believe in the harmony of things. You know, in everything we do, we have to keep it natural. I've been doing farming for now over a decade. My day is very hectic, but I make it light, you know, because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy producing the best quality goods and to make sure that the people that receive it, they receive the best that they can ever get. Right from the farm, everything that I grow, I process them back into the farm so that these same things that grow in the farm is what protects the farm. Tourism is my business. You know, it's not just dealing with the foreigners that come in, but it's preparing those things that when they come, they can feel and taste the difference in coming to this exotic island. And it starts with the farmer, because we provide the things that they eat, that they taste, that they drink. I believe in my heart that it's my responsibility to provide quality. My name is Tony Alves, and tourism is my business.
Thanks for staying with us. The parliamentary representative for the Mahaut constituency is reporting that a number of infrastructural projects in his constituency are well underway. GIS's Priska Julian joined the Member of Parliament on a visit to these projects and filed this report.
Honourable Member of Parliament for the Mahaut constituency, Rayburn Blackmore, is continuing to make good on promises of facilitating the development of the communities under his charge through infrastructural advancement. Projects ongoing in that constituency cost well over $1 million and are all geared at improving the quality of life of constituents. One of the most significant projects in that area is the construction of a river defense wall for the River Estate Housing Scheme in Canefield. On May 5th, a contract amounting to $787,000 was signed for the construction of the 48-meter reinforced concrete river wall, a project the Member of Parliament reaffirms will ensure protection of both life and property.
You may recall during the passage of Erica was significantly undermined, and both property and lives were actually threatened. And so this project in itself is very, very important insofar as the protection of both life and property is concerned.
The river wall project, which began in the latter part of May, is reportedly 65% complete and currently provides employment for 13 laborers and tradesmen. Contractor for the project, Ken Esprit, says work is progressing smoothly and may be completed ahead of time.
We have a team of like 13 guys employed here, including myself. 9 of them are from Kenfield area. We expected to complete in what is a 3 months project. We start on the 31st of May. So we have about, let's say, about 7 weeks now so far. It's supposed to be completed by August month end.
Honorable Blackmore hopes work will continue with the current pace.
I would like to see that pace continues. Bearing in mind we're in the hurricane season, and the Kenfield River is known for overflowing banks,
The Mahaut MP also indicated that this project would not only serve as protection for villagers, but will contribute to the local economy.
Apart from the wall and its benefit in terms of protection to human life and property, the local economy in Kenfield is actually benefiting tremendously. At least 9 of the employees are actually from the Kenfield area. And from what I've been told by the contractor, they're very, very diligent. So I would hope by the end of this contract that a number of young men from Kenfield would have actually gotten themselves involved in the construction industry and building on the level of proficiency in that regard. So I'm actually elated that this work has actually started.
In Kenfield East, a relatively new settlement in the constituency, road rehabilitation projects are proceeding. 8 persons are currently employed on the rehabilitation of 160 meters of one of the streets. The Honorable Parliamentary Representative repeated a promise he had made to the residents of Kenfield to rehabilitate all roads in that area.
We will be proceeding to address all the outstanding issues insofar as the road condition is concerned in Kenfield East, and I'm happy that we have actually started. As you've seen for yourself, work is actually ongoing.
Honorable Blackmore expounded on other interventions he intends to undertake for the Kenfield East area.
Once we have finished addressing that area in Kenfield East, then we can look at the main road leading to Kenfield East to do some actual corrective works there. The other major intervention that I want to embark on as the Member of Parliament for the Kenfield area, in Kenfield East, that is to say, you have some drainage issues, some natural water courses, and whenever you have heavy rains, a lot of water is poured into the community. So we'll be doing the analysis for that to ensure that we put in proper storm drains and mitigation measures for the people of Kenfield. This year we're making provision in this year's budget to put in the roads, etc., and the other infrastructure to add value to the people's home and the properties in Kenfield East.
Other streets on the cards to be rehabilitated include 13th Street, Kenfield, and 21st Street in Roger. Contractor responsible for rehabilitating approximately 100 meters of another street in Kenfield, the RBC Road, also reports that work on that project is progressing smoothly.
We are progressing quite fairly, with the exception for the weather causing a bit of problem for us. Every time we compact and it rains, the rain washes away everything, and we have to remove the underneath material because we cannot close the concrete road and vehicles continue to drive when it's raining. So this is causing a bit of difficulty for us. However, the people in the area are quite cooperative. They allow us time to work when we have to, and then we work also with them, allow them to pass when they need to. So all in all, besides the bad weather, the project is going smoothly.
Another project imperative for ensuring safety of persons in the constituency is the reconditioning of the bridge leading to Mount Georgian in Mahaut, a village crossing serving important facilities such as the Mahaut Senior Citizens Home.
Yes, it's a very important bridge. This bridge leads to the community of Mount Georgian. And also we have some very important installations there. We have the home for the senior citizens of the Mahaut community. You also have the cemetery located just downstream. During the passage of Erica, some serious undermining was actually done to that bridge and also to the wall. So what we're doing is doing some underpinning of the walls and also stabilizing the bridge.
The contract for this bridge, amounting to $68,000, was signed just last week. Work began on the project on Wednesday and is reported to be about 40% complete. With a crew of 7 men employed, it is expected to be completed this month. The Honorable MP explained that the bridge required urgent attention.
If we did not move to do what we're doing now, the entire bridge itself could have collapsed. And even in a worst case scenario, if the river were to overflow its banks, the possibility of undermining the walls that were actually constructed not only to protect the road infrastructure, but also to protect the lives and properties of the people of the community. That in itself would have been a real possibility.
Contractor Alston Henry expressed similar sentiments about the importance of the bridge for the safety of commuters.
But since after Erica, the bridge gets undermined, the water undermined the bridge, and for a long while it's like that, and people was waiting for that because it was really dangerous for passing in the area.
This bridge also serves as an alternative route for the community in the event of blockages on the main street, which is also part of the E.O. Leblanc Highway, the arterial road for the west of the country. Honorable Blackmore says this is part of his goal for establishing inter-community linkages and providing alternate routes throughout his constituency. This goal, he reports, is progressing satisfactorily.
It was always my intention to create community linkages throughout the constituency, and we have been able to do that in Mahaut to a larger measure. We are almost getting there in Mahaut. We have done the road in Ivanhoe. We have to construct a bridge that can take us back into Formage, Mahaut. So those are things that we are proceeding on. We have been able to do tremendous work in the GIMIT area, where we have been able to establish this inter-community linkages. That's important. We have just completed the link road in Wano, which is another very important project to actually link to provide an alternate route for the people of Wano. So we are proceeding in large measure to most of the things that we have said in the past that we're going to be doing.
GIS News will continue to follow these developments as they progress. Reporting for GIS News, I'm Priska Julian.
We'll now join Shaakira Pierre for this week's edition of Flashback.
Welcome to this week's edition of Flashback. In the headlines this week, the Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Mahaut constituency, Reuben Blackmore, on Friday presented a check of $263,000 to the chairperson of the Mahaut Village Council, Lorna Dalton, for the commencement of various projects in that constituency. Also this week, 14 community health nursing students from Barbados arrived on island to observe and learn from Dominica's community health team. On Friday, June 30th, 23 prison officers completed training sessions to better equip them to effectively execute their jobs at the Dominica State Prison. Topics covered included basic control and restraint techniques and introduction to riot drills. An operation by the Coast Guard unit of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force led to the seizure of 127 packages of cocaine, totaling to a street value of over $4 million. The bust was made in Culebistri. The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela celebrated its 206th anniversary of independence on Wednesday. The occasion was marked with a formal ceremony where wreaths were laid at the bust of Simon Bolivar in Goodwill. A promise which was made to residents of Collio and Dubla for small business, housing assistance, and to meet some medical costs was fulfilled on Wednesday with the presentation of 2 checks totaling close to $200,000. These were some of the headline stories making the news this week. For details of each of these stories and others, visit our website or Facebook page. Back to you, Kerdisha.
Before we leave, here is one announcement. Residents of Lubia, Madril, Fobawa, and environs are invited to the 11th inaugural meeting of the Lubia, Madril, Fobawa Village Council on Monday, July 10th, 2017 at 5 p.m. at the Lubia Resource Center. And that's the English segment of the news. Shaakira Pierre is next with Creole highlights.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel Creole, non moi c'est Shaakira Pierre. Tout le monde a Woodford Hill qui bénéficie du programme privé gouvernement. Caretaker pour constituency là a fini Benjamin fait présentation un chèque à valeur $303,000 pour privé neuf. Présentation là fait jeudi semaine là. Benjamin dit ça c'est pour montrer gouvernement qui travaille à constituency yo parti gagné. Chairman Village Council Wilson Honoré remercie caretaker là pour travail qu'il a fait en constituency là. En même temps là, Benjamin ba information contre un chimé yo ka kriye chimé Larry qui ka aller commencer à Woodford Hill. $1.1 million alloqué pour projet ça là. Il aussi demandé aux résidents pour une patience quand le gouvernement ka travaille pour développer Woodford Hill. En d'autres nouvelles, chef projet Kai à Bellevue Chopin dit descend yon Kai qui paré pour 1er janvier l'année 2018. Jeudi, nouvel gouvernement visité placement là la 340 éléments qu'a bâti pour monde qui perd Kayo et puis village après tempête Erika. Travail commencé à sous ces éléments là en avril l'année ça là et puis chef projet là Christopher Timmins dit il plaisir pour voir travail là qu'a fait progrès. Ces éléments là c'est 2, 3 et puis 4 chambres dormies détachées et puis ça qui pas détaché. Aussi, yo ka bâti yon place la moun ka van, yon la place pour vendre produits et puis yon resource center qui ke développer placement là. Ça c'est tout pour nouvelle Creole. Non, moi c'est Shaakira Pierre. Ni yon bon weekend. Au revoir.
Coming up next, the hurricane tips for after the storm. As we are now in the hurricane season, here are some tips on safety after a storm. Make sure that all is definitely clear outside and the storm has completely passed before going out. Report down the power lines and stay away from them. Use stored water and food, and finally be patient. Things will take a while before they get back to normal. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/GIS News Dominica and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also available on our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kerdisha St. Thanks for watching and do have a great weekend.